Hi, welcome to the class. Today we'll understand an important topic which can be explained on the basis of wave theory of light, that is Heisen's principle. Name of the topic is diffraction. And what is diffraction? So basically the bending of light around the corners of an obstacle is known as diffraction. There is an important condition for diffraction to take place, and the condition is that the width of the slit means this gap, the obstacle, the width of the slit, this width of the slit should be comparable with the wavelength of light. Wavelength of light means lambda. It should be comparable with the wavelength of light. This is the condition. This is the whole setup. And before this we have studied about interference. So now it becomes little easy to understand. But there in case of interference we had two slits. Here we have just one slit. Right? So if you remember, the condition for constructive interference was this, that the path difference should be equal to n lambda. This lambda should be there. If you have this lambda and where the value of n is 0, 1, 2, 3. If this is the case, if you have like integral multiple of lambda, you will get a bright point. That is constructive interference. And if you have your path difference as n plus half into lambda, where again n is equals to 0, 1, 2, 3. If you have your lambda in half, right, that would be the condition for destructive interference or a dark point. So this is the wavefront, AB is the wavefront which is coming through this slit whose width is E, small e we have taken. Now in previous interference we have taken this distance between the two slits as d, small d. If you want to keep it d as well, you can keep it d. So this is d. Now what happens is, as you could see, there are no two slits. There is just a single slit, and AB is the wavefront which is passing through this slit whose width is d, small d. Now what happens is, in order to understand this phenomena, what happens is, the waves while traveling through the space after passing through the lens interfere with each other, and on the screen gives us few bright points, alternative bright and dark points. Now we have to explain how it is happening, right? Now in order to explain that, obviously this lambda is coming, so AB wavefront must be having the same wavelength. So the wavelength which is coming out of this is lambda, right? Now the wave which is going from A to O and B to O, traveling the same distance and therefore do not have any path difference. Now look here, if path difference is 0, if I put this as n as 0, path difference is 0. This is the condition for bright point, constructive interference. So O point is a bright point and it is known as central maxima. What do we call this point? Central maximum. Central maximum, right? So this point is known as central maximum. Now wave from A goes to P, wave from B goes to B. As you could see, the wave which is going from B to P travels a longer distance as compared to from A to P. So there is a path difference which is created. Now if you remember previously, how do we calculate that path difference? By drawing the normal. So we have drawn this normal AK. So AK, after drawing this normal AK, it will give us the path difference. Now what is the path difference? It will be BP minus AB is equals to BK. And now what is BK? BK is the path difference. BK is the path. Now what happens is, if I let that BK is equals to lambda, I am just assuming it, let BK is equals to lambda, which is the wavelength of the light, right? Means this path difference is lambda, right? Now you may argue that there are no two slits and how we could form those coherent sources which we require for interference. So since we do not have any two slits, no two coherent sources are there. Now we need to understand that this phenomena is taking place actually. We are just explaining it using the wave theory. So how do we do that? So we consider that AB, let AB means this wavefront AB, A to B, is made up of two n particles. Let us assume that you know that wavefront is made up of a number of particles. So these two n particles and these particles are in the same phase. Now let me divide this AB into two parts. Let me say I am dividing this into two parts. So from here I have divided it into two equal parts. So this A2M, let us say A2M has particles 1, 2, 3 up to n, and the other one M2B will be having n plus 1, n plus 2 up to 2n. Right? Now since you have divided them into two equal parts, the wavelength will also be divided as lambda by 2 and lambda by 2. Now what happens is, this particle 1 is interfering with this. How much wavelength this is having? Lambda by 2. How much wavelength this is having? Lambda by 2. So when they are interfering with each other, since you know that, look here, path difference, if I put n0, it will be lambda by 2. So basically, if it is an integral multiple of lambda, it will be a bright point, right? But if it is not an integral fractional multiple, like half, 3 by 2, 5 by 2, this will be a dark point. So when we will see this lambda by 2 and lambda by 2 is what? Fractional value, fractional multiple of lambda. This lambda by 2 is what? 1 by 2 into lambda, fractional value. It is not an integral multiple. Understand from here. If it is an integral multiple, there will be bright point. If it is a fractional multiple, it will be a dark point. So it is lambda by 2. If that is the case, then P point would be what? Then P point would be a dark point. So if I try to calculate this bk, which I have assumed to be lambda, now I try to calculate this bk. So I take triangle AKB. If I take this triangle AKB, what happens is, I have to find out bk and I know this AB. I am using sine theta, which is perpendicular. Angle is there, this will be perpendicular. This is base and this is hypotenuse. So perpendicular BK upon hypotenuse is AB. So BK I have to calculate, but I know AB as D. So BK, which is the path difference, is coming out to be D sine theta. So how much is the path difference? D sine theta. So I have calculated the path difference D sine theta. If BK, which is D sine theta, is equals to what? If this path difference, which is equal to these two combining together forming a dark point. So these two combining together forming a dark point means if D sine theta is equals to n lambda. If that is the case. Now why am I writing lambda here? You will say, sir, you should write lambda by 2. Because it is a combination of 2 lambda by 2 making it a what? Making it a dark point. So this is the condition. This is the condition for, we call it condition for minima. Condition for minima. As these two lambda by 2 combining together and forming it a dark point. Because whenever these lambda by 2, whenever the path difference is lambda by 2, they should form a dark point. Now n cannot be 0 here. Why? Because 0 is already, when the path difference was 0, it is already a central maximum. So n should start from 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So this is the condition for minimum. Similarly, if we try to formulate the condition for maxima, what it will be? It's very easy for you to understand now that again path difference d sine theta should be, it will reverse basically. In case of interference and diffraction, it will reverse. In case of interference, this was the bright point and n plus half lambda was the dark point, but it will reverse in this case since we are dividing this into two parts. Lambda is getting divided. Okay. So now this will be d sine theta plus half into lambda. So what is this? Condition for maximum. So this can be explained in a similar way like we did it for that. and again it can be 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. So these will be the values, and should be 1, 2, 3 and so on. So these are the conditions for maxima and minima, and this is how we can explain them. Okay, now the last important thing which I shall tell you is this, that this central maxima, obviously this is the bright point, then dark point should be there, but this central maxima spreads out in both the region, both means above this point and below this point. So I had to find that what is the angular width of this central maxima. So if I try to calculate the angular width of central maxima, so how do I do that? So for that I should take the triangle. Okay, I shall first remove this. So what I am trying to do now is to find out angular width of central maxima. So if this is what I am doing is, so I am trying to calculate that how much this central maxima spreads out in the above region. If I do that, then what I will do? I will multiply it by 2 and then I can easily calculate it, right? So what shall I do now? I should take this sine theta, and if I do that, you know that sine theta which is angle is equals to what? Sine theta will be equal to lambda by b. Because this bk we have assumed that it is lambda. So if that is the case, this theta, which is again the angular width on the above side, theta will be equal to sine inverse lambda by d. And if I multiply it by 2d, why am I multiplying it by 2? Because the same angular width will be on the downside. So 2d is equals to 2 sine inverse lambda by d. So this is how it works out. So this is the angular width of the central maxima, right? So that is what it is. And again we plotted a graph last class, and this is the relation which we used. Phase difference is equals to 2 pi by lambda into path difference. And if we use the same graph same relation to plot a graph of intensity versus path difference or phase difference, intensity versus path difference, now first path difference is 0 for this point, central maxima. So phase difference will be 0. So intensity would be maximum. So this is 0 point. Right? Now if I put the path difference from here, what it would be? This is the path difference. So if I put it here 1, it would be lambda by d. Assuming that this angle is very small, right? So if angle is small, sine theta will be only equal to theta. So if that is the case, the first would be, this will be the dark point lambda by d, lambda by d, again dark point. Now if I put 2, so 2 lambda by d, put it here, path reference 2 lambda by d, it would be 2 pi, okay, we are calculating with respect to this, so it will be 2 lambda by d. We are not calculating with respect to phase difference, path difference only. So between lambda by d and 2 lambda by d, this would be the bright point. So which is what? Lambda by d. No, 0 lambda by d. Okay, this is the then 2 lambda by, yeah. So this would be the bright point and you can easily calculate it from here. So this is 0. Now 1 you put, this would be 3 by 2 lambda by d. And similarly, you on this side as well. Now remember that in case of interference, it was there that the intensity of all the bright points is same. But in case of diffraction, the intensity of all the bright points keeps on decreasing. So next point won't be this much bright, it would be less bright. The next would be less bright. And so on and so forth, you can easily calculate the path difference. This is the condition for minimum, maxima, and this is the angular width of the central maximum, right? In the next class, we shall discuss the difference between interference and diffraction and do some numericals as well. I hope you understood this. Thank you.